My name is David Wilson, and this is a PowerPoint on creating effective resumes, cover letters, and portfolios / e-portfolios. Who can benefit from this? This presentation is mostly focused towards job seekers, people looking to get into the job market, maybe revamp their current methods for looking for a job. Also, another group of people that can benefit from this are hiring personnel. If you are new at looking for job applicants, you can hopefully understand how to distinguish a good resume from a bad resume and how to sort through all the many applicants that you receive. The first thing we're going to review is a resume. A resume essentially is an applicant's personal advertisement for employment. A resume gives an employer an instant overview. In fact, employers initially spend only 15 to 45 seconds looking at a resume. During the scan, they are looking for a persuasive answer to an essential question. What can you do for us? So it is very important to have a nice organized resume that showcases what your skills are for a particular job. And on a resume, there are a few things that you'd want to include, and I've listed those below. Contact information, which can be a phone number and an email, and possibly a website if you have one. Your career objectives, your education. Start with your most current education and work back from there. Uh, your work experience, same thing, reverse chronological order. So your most recent job followed by the next one. Personal data and interests. So things that might pertain to the job, things that you have worked on, or information that would be pertinent to a job that you're looking for. Your references should also be part of your resume, and also information if you have a portfolio or not. The main focus of this presentation is going to be focused on resumes. And one of the things that you want to avoid when creating a resume. I've included this funny picture of this child with messy hair, and that's just giving an example of how you want to put your best foot forward, and you wouldn't want to go to a job uh, interview looking messy. You'd want, and that goes the same for your resumes. You don't want it to look messy. You want to always have your best foot forward. So a few things to avoid is cluttered information. So avoid having too much information on there that's not easy to follow. Look for spelling and grammar errors. This is a big one, as sometimes when employers find spelling and grammar errors, they might automatically discard a resume. Do not put your salary expectations on your resume, and avoid misleading information. So one of the main reasons why people become disqualified for a position is they find out their resume seems dishonest, and that can be a reason for them to discard it. Also avoid unnecessary information. This would be possibly education experience. You wouldn't want to include your high school if you have an undergraduate degree. It's just unnecessary information that clutters up a resume. Cover letters can be a very useful tool when looking for a job. Uh, you can have them solicited where a company is looking for a job, and then there are companies that aren't looking for people to hire, and that would be considered an unsolicited. Either way, a cover letter would be tailored to a specific job that someone is applying to. This also might highlight special skills that you have that are pertinent to the job that you are applying for. You can also go into more information than your resume, and that is kind of reinforcing to be specific. Don't You don't want employers to think you just blanketed the market with your resume. You want them to know that you sought this position out and you thought about it and you think you would be a good fit. Also, once again, make sure you're reviewing for errors, as this is a big thing when submitting anything to a potential job employer, is look for errors. Make sure you don't miss those small details. Okay, the last thing we're going to be talking about are portfolios and e-portfolios. This could be more job specific. So if you're a photographer, you might want to showcase some of your best work. If you're an architect, you might want to have a portfolio of all the work that you have done in the past. This can be very important when you're more advanced in a specific career, where someone who's first starting out as an architect is not going to have as much work as someone who's been doing it for 20 years. So this one may be more career specific, and it's important to have these well organized, as always, and available depending on where you're going for your job interview or what they're requesting. So always have it nice and neat. So there are the three main things that we went over: resumes, cover letters, and portfolios. All of these are very important. Resumes are more general form and more specified for what you want to do. Cover letters are more specific to the employers that you're applying to, and portfolios is more focused towards the collection of work that you've created in your career. Last slide is, these are the references that I used. A lot of my information came from the technical communication, and then the rest are images and citations.